In today's video, we're going to tackle how we're going to get the slope of the tangent line using the tangent line formula, which is f prime of x is equal to the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Delta x represents the changes that happens with the x values. So for our first example, we're going to use wait lang po. We're going to use f of x is equal to 5x. So for our first step, we're going to substitute all of the x's here to this. So f prime of x, copy the formula, is equal to the limit of 5 multiplied by, copy this, x plus delta x minus f of x is just this, so copy 5x all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. So the next step that we're going to do is distribute the 5 to these two terms. So f of x is equal to the limit of 5x plus 5 times delta x, 5 delta x minus 5x all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now the next, we can see that in this term, in the numerator, 5x and negative 5x cancels each other out because 5x minus 5x is just 0. So cancel these two and we're left with f of x as the limit of 5 delta x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. We can see that the two delta x's in the numerator and the denominator cancels each other out. So cancel again. Now we're left with f of x, f prime of x, sorry, all the f of x that I said was f prime of x. F prime of x is equal to, we're left with 5. That's the final answer. Now let's try an equation that's a little bit harder. Number 2, f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 3. This problem is not that much harder, but takes quite a bit long to solve. So again, our first step is to substitute the function into the formula, which is f prime of x is equal to the limit of all of the x in this function is going to turn into x plus delta x. The limit of 2 times x plus delta x squared minus 3 minus, let's put a parenthesis here since it's a binomial, just copy the function, 2x minus 3 all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now what we're going to do is to expand the term x plus delta x squared. Now copy f prime of x is equal to the limit of 2 times square the first term, x squared, twice the product of the first and second term, plus 2x delta x, plus square the last term, delta x squared. Minus 3, no, nasa labas po. Minus 3 minus, let's distribute the negative sign to the terms. Negative times 2x, that's negative 2x, minus times minus, positive, plus 3 all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now what we're going to do this time is to distribute the 2 into all of these terms. Copy the formula. F prime of x is equal to the limit of 2 times x squared, that's 2x squared, 2 times 2x delta x is 4x delta x, plus 2 times delta x squared, that's 2 delta x squared, minus 3 minus 2x, oh, this is 2x squared, 2x squared plus 3. So, all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Let's try to see if we can cancel some terms in the numerator. You can see that 2x squared and negative 2x squared cancel each other out since it equates to 0, as well as negative 3 plus positive 3, which also equates to 0. So cancel, 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 cancel. We're left with f prime of x is equal to the limit of 4x delta x, 4x delta x plus 2x plus 2 delta x, 2 delta x squared all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now what's next is that we're going to factor out delta x from the numerator. It's just going to look like this. F prime of x is equal to the limit of factor delta x out, delta x multiply delta x divided by 4x delta x is just simply 4x. Now delta x divided by 2x, 2 delta x squared minus delta x is just 2 delta x all over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now we can see that in this equation we can cancel the delta x's out. So cancel, cancel, sorry, excuse, we're left with f prime of x is equal to the limit of 4x plus 2 delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Now delta x is defined as, we're going to define the delta x as 0 as pertained in the limits. Now f prime of x is equal to 4x plus 2 times 0, and the final answer is f prime of x is equal to 4x, because 4x plus 2 times 0, this is just simply 0, 4x plus 0 is 4x. That's the final answer. And that will be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.